Okay, good evening. Welcome, Shir Likutey Moharan, teaching number 25 for the fourth paragraph. This shir is dedicated Leilo Nishmas, my mother, Sonia Bas Yechiel Meir, that today was her yahrzeit. And to refer to all Klal Yisrael that need refuah, begashmis, beruchnis, that's Hashem. Okay. So after we have said, let me just take a quick, just 1 second. So we have learned so far that the person, every person, has to break, annihilate the control that the power of imagination has on him, and to capture, to ascend to a level of recognizing the true seichel, the true wisdom. This recognition is, constitutes what you would call seichel b'koyach. In other words, theoretically, you know what needs to be done. You're still not doing anything about it, but you know what it is. And it's not a small thing, because in order to know what the true seichel is, means that you want to know what the true seichel is. All the different stages that we are talking about making this true seichel your own, which is the goal here, it's all an outcome of how much you want it. Because if a person doesn't want it, there's pinas esav. A fool doesn't want, he's not interested in wisdom. Kim bis galus liba, except what his heart, presses him for. So the very fact alone that one realizes that what the true seichel is means that I was able to overcome my denial and at least recognize that I am where I am, and I want what I want, and I crave what I crave, okay? But I know that that's not the real thing. That's not the real seichel. So this is called a seichel with potential, theoretical seichel. The next stage is when you want it even more. And what you do is you start struggling, you start working on it, you start working on incorporating the true seichel into your life. It starts with baby steps. You do a little here, you do a little there, but slowly, you are bringing this seichel, which until now was just theoretical, into your domain. So let's say that you realize that there are 50 different things that you should change in your life. You should, let's say, make sure that you look at everybody positively. Make sure that you keep your mouth from saying Lashon Hara. Make sure that you daven bekavona. Make sure that you wake up chitzos. Make sure that you make brachas bekavona. Make sure that you're doing the mitzvahs b'simcha, and so forth and so on. It's a whole laundry list. Fine. So at first comes the recognition that this is what you need to do. And then comes the application of doing a little bit of that. One day you daven with more of a kavanah. And then another day you are working on, Shmir Saloshan. And another day you going to shul and you realize that you're looking at people askance, and you shut your eyes. You don't look at anybody. So what should I get into trouble? Wherever it is I look at anyone, immediately I start thinking, critical thoughts. I have patience for them, or whatever it might be. Okay, he says, okay, I really would want not to do that. Right. So to start, from being a super critical guy to becoming this most, open-hearted, gregarious, fun-loving, accepting kind of guy, it's easier said than done. Okay, so the Rebbe says you're supposed to investigate, you're supposed to research and find a way how to incorporate that sechel in your life. So I cannot change myself from Mr. Hyde to Dr. Jekyll in one fell swoop. Okay, but what I can do is I can bring myself not to look at anybody in the shul at all. I come to shul to daven. I don't come to shul to pass vinegary judgment on the people around me. That's not what I'm here for. My exact nature, my character trait is to do that. So close your eyes. I mean, everything starts with the eyes. Lashon hara starts with the eyes. Miserliness starts with the eyes. You take a look. Yeah, don't look. Don't look. So that is already where you're taking the seichel, which was a theory, until now. Yeah, it's something that I need to work on sometime, someday. And you are actually working on it. You find means and ways. If I can't do it directly, maybe I can go around the bend and so forth and so on. All this is within the realm of something that's called sechel apoel. That means the acting seichel. You're acting on the seichel. You're starting to work with it. It's not just a bunch of theories that you sign with. Signing is a great thing, but you're not just signing, but you're actually, moving on implementing it. So if that's the case, once you do this and you manage to conquer a piece of quote unquote of a mida, a character trait, and you have managed to change yourself. When a person forces himself to daven b'chavona again and again and again and again, after a while, in the very beginning he'll have problems, obviously. But if he's really resolute about this, he will get there and it'll become part of who he is. Sechel Anikne means that it's already part of who you are. And in a sense, uh, you have already elevated your medame regarding this particular kuda to the seichel. This is a kuda that Nosson makes in teachings 49. Term Tes, when Ilchos Mincha Halacha Zayin, he says that the seichel, the mind, is totally above the midos. The seichel is connected to Hashem completely, and it's totally spiritual. It has, in fact, it has nothing to do with the physical world. It needs to have a messenger to deal with the physical world. That messenger is the koyach hamedana, the power of imagination. The power of imagination enables us to take reality that has no identifying marks and give them a name. In fact, all our language is basically names. We will have shir tonight at 9:00. We is a name. Will is a name. Have is a name. A shir is a name. At is a name. 9 is a name. O'clock is a name. In other words, these are all definitions that speak either to a verb or to a noun. It's a picture word. It's aware. But what it is we are giving situations a description. We're giving them a name. That does something wonderful. What it enables us to do is enable us to communicate. We're able to say, we're going to learn tonight 9:00. And 9:00 or 9:15, whatever it is, lo and behold, everybody's here. So this is, without a name, there's no way we can understand all the chacham in the world, but we are unable to do anything. The power of imagination is the power to give name to things. However, the power of imagination in and itself is a very, the faults in this instrument are built in. We recognize things by giving them a name. That means that we can also falsify things by giving them a name. When we are giving the wrong name to something, we are causing someone to think something which is wrong, to accept something as true, which is false. The power of imagination is very sensitive in this regard, and is very easily fooled. So the power of imagination is the thing that enables the seichel cannot take a lulav, an esrog, or a challah, or a matzah. The seichel cannot do any of that. The power of imagination has to enter the picture. It has to be the messenger of the seichel, but it has to be a loyal messenger. It has to be a messenger that does only what the sender sends him to do. So this is when you have left the power of imagination. You realize there's a seichel. You are starting an action to subdue the power of imagination to the guardianship, the rulership of the wisdom, the true seichel. And when you are cleaning your medama to the point where it becomes reconnected with the seichel amiti, the way that your hand does what your mind wants without you having to think, I want my hand now to move this way. I just move my hand because the hand is totally subordinate to my mind. The idea is that the medama should be totally similarly, totally subordinated to the seichel. When it is, we don't have much problems with it. In fact, we don't even need to choose, which way we're going to go. This is called seichel anikne, the acquired seichel. And the acquired seichel is, for instance, Shabbos. There's not a question if in our minds if we're going to keep Shabbos or not. I mean, a regular frum Jew will not be Mechal Shabbos, without a very, very justified and good reason. In fact, it's not even a test. You're just not going to do it. Similarly, you're not going to eat something which is not kosher. Okay, what kind of hechsher you're going to use. You're going to a restaurant, this, whatever it is. I mean, it's can come in many different ways. But you're not going to go to a restaurant where they tell you, listen, this is not a kosher restaurant. You're not going to eat there. Unless you're having, a bleeding ulcer and you have to eat immediately, well, then you have a good reason. You have to eat. It's pikuach nefesh. There's something else. Let's call seichel anikne. It's already there. It's already in your hands. You don't even have a yitzhahara about it. That's it. Shabbos is Shabbos and finished. This process repeats itself again and again and again. Every time that you you have reached a madrega where you have acquired the seichel anikne, you're going up a step. When you're going up a step, the klipos in the new madrega that you are ascending to awaken and say, excuse me, you expect me to hold your coat and cheer you along? I got some rude news for you. It ain't happening. What happens is that you're suddenly flooded with demyonis, with fantasies, with cravings, with just pure madness and all kinds of manias and obstacles and things that you thought that you left behind eons ago. And this is what the Rebbe says now. The Efshar lachnia klipos, and it's not possible to subdue the klipos, the tumah, in this new realm. Hainu, hadimyonis, the fantasies, the machshavos, and the thoughts, the taivos, the cravings, the bilbulin, and the confusions, the minias, and the obstacles, shema madrega, on the upper level, ella al the gdula sabayir, except through the greatness of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. As it says in the Kavonos of Hodel Hashem Kiru B'Shmoi. We explained already before that once you finished with Korbanos, the first part of davening is you finished with Olam Asiyah, the world of doing, which is the lowest world, and you're going up to Olam Yetzirah, which is the level of Sukkot Zimra. So before you stop Sukkot Zimra, so we say Hodel Hashem Kiru B'Shmoi. We are calling the Malachim to let the goyim know the greatness of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. With this, they scare the klipos, which are in the Asiyah, from getting up to the Yetzirah. It was put there in order to subdue the klipos in the Yetzirah, because they awaken against the Asiyah. You just finished Asiyah, and you're taking Asiyah with you. You're going up to the Olam Yetzirah. And by the fact that you mentioned the greatness of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, they surrender. Ayin. And as we said before, the B'kol Olam Yesh Pnimius, in every world is the inside part of it and the outside part of it. The inside part is the Kedusha of the Torah and the mitzvahs and whatever it is that you do. And the outside is the sanctity with which you eat, you do business, and you do all the divrachot. And the pnimis ayetzira oilo, the inside, the level of kedusha of your Torah mitzvahs go up to olam abriya, and pnimis asio, the pnimis ayetzira goes up to the bria. But pnimis asio oilo malbish chitzonis ayetzira. The pnimius of olam asio goes up and now becomes relatively the outside, the circumference, the lower level of your Olam Eitzir. And this is what we said before. That we explain it a great deal. What does it mean when the pnimius, the inside, goes up and becomes the outside to that which used to be the outside of somebody, whoever it is that was in that Megillah before you? We went already through this before. The way that you reveal the greatness of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, it's tzedakah that you give to a decent and honest poor person. The main greatness and glory, who is Galus Agavnin. This is the revelation of the supernal colors. The silver and the gold, they are the colors. Now, we are talking about a character of the light itself. When you're talking about light, light is an ethereal thing. It cannot be seen. In order for it to be seen, it has to go through the filters of the midos. When it goes through the filter of the chesed, then the light is white. This is the silver. When it goes through the filter of the gvura, the light is red. This is gold. And this is the revelation of the glory of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And the kesef azov hen agavnin, the silver and the gold, they are the colors. Ki gavnin alone, but because supernal colors are embedded in them from the Olam Esliyonim. And the governing alone, and these supernal colors, that are infused in gold and silver, and meirin elak sheboim lish Israeli, they only shine when they come to the hand of Ish Israeli. Now, Ish Israeli, Rabbeinu does not say a Jew. He says Ish Israeli means somebody who behaves like a Jew should behave. Kisha mekoimam, because that is their place. And then they combine together, umisnarin, then they shine. The gold and silver combined, and they shine. Because Israel, which within you I shall glorify, which means that within the Ish Israel, the colors shine. The place of those colors, where they can come to expression, is only by Ish Israeli, somebody who is not just Jewish, but behaves the way a Jew should. Kadosh Baruch Hu, has pride in it. He has pride when you behave the way that a Jew should behave. Both the gold is mine and the silver is mine. Kadosh Baruch Hu is glorifying in the midah of Chesed, in Misa Gvura, and that becomes the garments of sight. Let's stop here for a second and explain this Nakuda so we can make it more clear. We know that you have a midah of Chesed, and we know that you have the midah of Gvura, and we know that those two midas combine to become the Sphira Satiferes. Now, Sphira Satiferes comes after the Chesed and Gvura. First you have Chesed, then you have Gvura, then you have, the how much of this and how much of that, how much of the cold water, how much of the hot water to put, so it'll be just the right temperature. And we said before that every Sphira has a name of Kadosh Baruch Hu that is associated with it. The name of the holy name that is associated with the Chesed is Kel, is Aleph Lamed. The name of Kadosh Baruch Hu associated with Misa Gevura is Elokim. That's the Dinim, it's Gevura. The name of the Tiferes, which is below them, comes after them, is Shem Havaya Baruch Hu, Yud Kei Vav Kei. That's the supernal name. So, what gives? How come the Chesed and the Gevura, which come before the Tiferes, have names that are lower than the name of the Tiferes? Tiferes is Shem Havaya. Shem Havaya, this is Kaviyach Kadosh Baruch Hu Be'atzmai. We're not talking about the fact that Kadosh Baruch Hu is strong. We're not going to talk about Kadosh Baruch Hu is mighty. We're talking about Kadosh Baruch Hu is that he was, is, and will be. It's the most abstract of all of Kadosh Baruch Hu's names. So how can it be after Chesed and Gevura? The answer is that L'maisa, the expression of the Tiferes, of the glory, only comes once you combine the Chesed and the Gevura in the proper proportions, according to the ability of the receiver to receive. Then they can see the glory. But ideally, when we're talking about the main kavana, the main aim of the Bria, Tiferes is the aim of the entire thing. The idea is to give over the Shefa Kodesh Baruch Hu so it can be received. Even after in Olam Atikon, you have Sfiras Chesed and Sfiras Gvura. They already have in them Chesed the Chesed, Gvura the Chesed, Tiferes the Chesed, and so forth and so on. But nevertheless, the Chesed is a giving. It's a mode, a single mode. Whether you deserve it, you don't deserve it, you can take it, you can't take it. Giving, Chesed. Gvura is the same thing. Yes, it has Chesed the Gvura the Gvura, Tiferes the Gvura, and so on. But nevertheless, Gvura is might. It's holding back. You deserve it, you don't deserve it. It has nothing to do with that. It's a tool. Now, Tiferes is a different business. Tiferes signifies the perfection. You're using the tool of giving and the tool of holding back to be able to give forth something which is accepted by the receiver. The receiver has the kelim, has the faculties to receive them. You're not giving him too much. You're not giving him too little. You're giving it to him in a way that can be received. So the idea of Tiferes comes before Chesed and Gvura, because of the principle. That the idea is that the giving should be carefully measured, not to overwhelm and not to stunt the growth of the receiver, which is what Tiferes is. This is what glory is. You have to use Chesed and Gvura. So the mice in the placement, Chesed and Gvura come before the Tiferes. But the idea of Tiferes is primordial. That's the reason why Chesed and Gvura exist altogether. These are the colors. The colors need to show. When they combine, they show the glory of Hashem Yisborach. Now Rabbeinu says that it only shines in the hand of Ish Israeli, and he says, because of this glory, Hakol mistaklim boy, everybody looks at this glory, because everybody craves to see something really glorious, gloried and stupendous. As long as the money, the gold and silver, is by the Pchinas Akum, by the Goyim, as a Gavnin Lomi Moharan, the light of the Gavnin does not appear. They don't shine. That's not their place. The idea is not to have money. I have more money than you. I have this billions of dollars and you have this billions of dollars. But that's not what the idea is about. The idea is about Liya Kesef and Liya Zov. Liya Kesef, the silver belongs to me and the gold belongs to me. Yom Hashem Tzvokos, that's what Kodesh Baruch was supposed to say. You're supposed to behave with it in a way that gives expression to the fact that that the silver belongs to Hashem and the gold belongs to Hashem. Not it belongs to you. It's not a Liya Kesef, a Liya Zav. It's to Hashem a Kesef, to Hashem a Zav. Then Hashem is shining. If that's not what it's about, the glory of Hashem is not gonna be expressed by it. And he says, that's why they crave Jewish money. Even though they're going to have plenty of gold and silver. They crave, a Jewish coin, as if he has never ever seen a penny. Why is the milchama שהכסף והזהב שיש תחת ידם in the governor Meirin, the colors do not shine in that money. And there's no glory, there's no grace, there's no beauty in the money which is in their hands. The main glory and charm, when it's Gala Elis Israel, it's only revealed when it is by Israel, which means when is Leah Kesef Leah Zov, means that it belongs to Hashem. And how you're acting with it, what you're doing with it, is professing the fact that Hashem owns everything. That's what they call Rashi. It means they're called impoverished. I mean, they may be the Lord's, but they're impoverished. In Chazal said in Pirkei Avos, don't come too close to the authorities, because they'll only smile at you when they need you. Machiavelli is purported to have put it, put not your trust in princes, for they can always plead expediency. So it says Rashus Mishon Rashim. Don't become friends with the Goyish authorities, because they're called Rishus, they're called authority, they're called government. They're really Russian, they're only poor. Russian Vanim, they're impoverished and they're poor. They don't have enjoyment from their money. As if they were paupers. And they crave the money of a Jew. Because in the money, the kosher money of a kosher Jew, resides the glory and the charm. Everybody, has an instinctive craving to look at the money and the glory and the chaim. And he says, immediately when a goy receives the moment of a Jew, immediately that grace, that twinkling of glory in the money disappears. That's why they're going to keep on asking for more and more money from Am Yisrael. And he forgets the money he already got. Because when it comes to the hand of the goy, the charm of the colors, spinner colors in the money disappear. This is the governing. We'll just conclude by saying this. It's not only a non-Jew and a Jew. When a Jew does not behave with money the way a Jew should, the minute that the money comes to his hand, the supernal colors disappear. Because he has received the money like a goy. Mine. It's mine. It's my money. It's my money. The minute it becomes your money, there's no taste in this money. It's mine. And achinami. The goy wants the money of a Jew because compared to the goy, even the Jew behaves like a goy. His money shines. So the guy wants his money. But if you don't have enjoyment from your possessions, from where you are in life, possession-wise, money-wise, that means that you're not behaving like a Ish Israeli. We say, Ezewa Ashir, who is rich, who is considered rich. That's the one who is happy with his lot. Chazal does not say, you know, who's rich, somebody who is satisfied with his lot. They don't say that. They say, you know, who's rich, somebody who is happy with his lot. Because when you behave with money, when somebody else's money, very, very carefully, your money shines. And we'll see how to do it in Yitzhak Hashem next week. It fixes all your money. It fixes all your possessions. And as a result, you have great hanoah from them. You have great enjoyment from them, from everything that you own. You are happy with your lot. You're not just satisfied with your lot. Oh, it's enough. No, you have enjoyment from it. You are happy with it because it shines to you. Everything's so beautiful. Look at the house I live in. Look at this incredible food I eat. The wonderful clothes I have. You know, how wonderful my life is. And it's a genuine thing. I mean, if you don't feel it that way, so speak like that until you'll be able to feel it. Especially if you are dealing with your money, you know, the way it's supposed to be. As you'll see, it's given to where it's supposed to be given, is the Shlemus HaTiferes. The glory, the Gavnin shine. The Gavnin shine, that's the glory of Hashem. When the glory of Hashem gets revealed, the klippas disappear. The klippas are only there because that doesn't do the trick. That doesn't do the trick. It's not. That's the klippas. The minute that you have brought together the shleimus of the Tiferes with the Shem Havaya, the glory of Hashem shines in everything that you possess. You don't crave anything. Everything is clear. Bezat Hashem will continue Bezat Hashem next week. Baruch should help Bezat Hashem to preserve Bezat Hashem really shorten our days. And Bezat Hashem tomorrow we will learn in Breslov Leonator.